Earthquakes are one of the most destructive natural disasters that can take place anywhere in the world. But did you know some countries are more prone to earthquakes than others? It's true. There are some countries that have a higher chance of facing deadly earthquakes. Watch this video before you think about traveling to or living in one of those countries. Let's go! Earthquakes are caused by various factors, such as plate tectonics, magma movement in volcanoes, variations in water pressure or temperatures, and powerful winds. But why are some countries more earthquake-prone? Countries that experience earthquakes often lie in areas of the Earth that are more likely to experience seismic activity. The Mid-Atlantic Ridge, the Alpine Belt, and the Circum-Pacific Seismic Belt are Earth's three main earthquake zones. Over 80% of the most significant earthquakes occur along the Pacific Ocean rim, making it the most prominent earthquake belt. However, seismic activity can still happen in different places on Earth outside of these zones. Here are the top 5 countries with the most earthquakes. Number 5. Philippines. While the stunning beaches of the Philippines may be well known to you, have you ever heard the story of the Casiguran, Aurora earthquakes that shook the land of the Philippines? The Philippines is one of the world's most earthquake-prone nations due to its location along the Pacific Ring of Fire. Because of the region's hilly terrain, earthquakes can also cause catastrophic landslides. Typhoons and tropical storms are very frequent occurrences. Casiguran, Aurora earthquake in Philippines. On August 2, 1968, Casiguran, Aurora was shaken by an earthquake of 7.3 magnitude. It was thought to be the strongest and most damaging earthquake to strike the Philippines in the previous 20 years. The quake caused 270 fatalities and 261 injuries. Because of the country's frequent and severe national calamities, Filipinos built solid structures with safety as their priority. Number 4. Turkey. Thinking about a trip to Turkey? Great decision! It's an outstanding country rich in history. However, you might be surprised to learn that Turkey occasionally experiences powerful earthquakes that can be extremely dangerous. Turkey is situated on the Anatolian Plate in an area of significant seismic activity. The Arabian and Eurasian tectonic plates are colliding in the northerly direction, compressing this westward. Since practically the whole region is situated along fault lines, earthquakes are highly probable. Thousands of earthquakes of various magnitudes occur in this country every year. Who could forget the recent huge earthquake that shook Turkey? People from all across the world came together and shared sympathy at that specific time. The largest earthquake in Turkey. On February 6, 2023, at 4:17 a.m. local time, a magnitude 7.8 earthquake struck southern and central Turkey and northern and western Syria, making it the worst earthquake to strike Turkey since 1950. The earthquake that hit what is now Turkey was the deadliest in the country's modern history, with over 55,700 recorded deaths, of which more than 48,400 were in Turkey and more than 7,200 in Syria. 4 million buildings and at least 13.5 million people were impacted overall. According to the Turkish Enterprise and Business Confederation, the economic damage from the earthquakes that struck Syria and Turkey on February 6th is estimated to be over $80 billion, or around 10% of Turkey's GDP. Number 3. Iran. Imagine it's 30 minutes past midnight and you're asleep, but suddenly the ground shakes violently. What would you do? Of course, you would run for your life. This is the story of the people of Iran. With a history of deadly earthquakes that have claimed thousands of lives over the years, Iran is among the nations most vulnerable to earthquakes worldwide. Iran is prone to severe earthquakes because of its placement along multiple plate borders and fault lines. This causes uneven ground and unstable buildings. Worst quake in Iran. On June 21, 1990, an earthquake close to Iran's Caspian Sea resulted in an estimated 50,000 fatalities and 135,000 injuries. The 7.7 magnitude earthquake severely damaged the region's poorly built homes. In the provinces of Zanjan and Gilan, an area spanning 20,000 square miles was destroyed. This area included both seaside resorts and farmers, all devastated. Every single building in an 80-mile span collapsed to rubble, and almost every single person living in those buildings died. A significant area of agriculture was also destroyed by a burst dam in Rasht, which was brought on by an aftershock of magnitude 6.5 the next morning. Numerous roads were blocked due to landslides, and many of those who had initially survived under the debris could not be evacuated before the air supply ran out. The earthquake is thought to have left 400,000 people without a place to live. Number 2. Indonesia. The breathtaking natural beauty of Indonesia is famous worldwide. Yet here's something unexpected. These stunning landscapes often experience powerful and surprising shocks. Indonesia is frequently hit by earthquakes larger than 6.0 magnitude. The archipelago of Indonesia is located where the Pacific, Eurasian, and Indo-Australian plates merge, causing a lot of seismic activity because of this complex tectonic situation. Have you heard of the 2004 Great Sumatra earthquake, which had an awful effect on the world? This Great Sumatra earthquake didn't just affect Indonesia, many other countries were also affected by it. On December 26, 2004, a major underwater quake hit off the west coast of northern Sumatra, Indonesia. With a magnitude of 9.1 to 9.3, it is among the strongest earthquakes ever observed in mankind's history, leading to devastating tsunamis to numerous countries bordering the Indian Ocean. This caused extensive damage and the deaths of approximately 230,000 people. Other major earthquakes. In 2018, another terrible earthquake of a magnitude of 7.5 occurred in Indonesia. It was named the Lombok earthquake. These July and August earthquake episodes caused significant damage to infrastructure and buildings, which resulted in casualties and displaced many people. The situation worsened on September 28, 2018, when a sizable tsunami struck, leaving over 2,000 people dead, 4,000 critically injured, and over 68,000 homes destroyed. Number 1. Japan. Hearing the word earthquake, the first country that comes to mind is Japan. Japan is the most seismically active country in the world, with an average of about 1,500 earthquakes of magnitude 4 and higher each year. Japan is positioned in the Pacific Ring of Fire. As a result, the seismic network in Japan is the densest globally. Furthermore, Japan is situated near the intersection of multiple additional plates. The majority of Japan is located on the Philippine Plate, with a small portion in the north of the Eurasian Plate, whose borders extend south along the northwest coast. There are not many earthquakes that strike Japan directly. However, faults in the Pacific Plate, those in the Pacific Ocean near the east coast, are the primary source of most earthquakes. Great East Japan Earthquake. One of the worst earthquakes that took place in Japan is the 2011 Tohoku earthquake and tsunami event, often referred to as the Great East Japan Earthquake and Tsunami. This natural disaster resulted in over 18,000 dead, including several thousand victims who were never recovered. The earthquake occurred on the Japan Trench off the northeast coast of Honshu and had a magnitude of 9.1. It also caused a tsunami that reached the coast in 30 minutes, topped seawalls, and shut down 3 nuclear reactors within days. The magnitude of the devastating earthquake was the highest in Japan's history and the third largest globally since 1900. According to the U.S. Geological Survey, thrust faulting on the subduction zone plate boundary between the Pacific and North American plates caused the 2011 event. Other major Japanese quakes. Do you remember the name of Fukushima? This unfortunate city of Japan was jolted by shocks on 2 separate occasions. First, a strong 7.3 magnitude earthquake occurred off the coast of Fukushima in eastern Japan on February 13, 2021. Numerous people were hurt, and there were significant electrical issues. The second earthquake that was recorded on March 16, 2022, was a magnitude of 7.3 rocked the Fukushima coast. Tragically, 2 people died, and 94 were injured in the incident, which also brought back terrible memories of a horrific earthquake and tsunami that struck the same area. After all these devastating occurrences, how is Japan able to protect itself from these regular earthquakes? Japan has learned to stay safe. Now, Japan makes buildings with seismic isolation bearings that allow the building to move horizontally during an earthquake, reducing the stress on the structure and minimizing damage. Would you consider visiting these stunning countries, even with their susceptibility to earthquakes? Comment your thoughts below. Alright, if you like this video, subscribe to the channel and hit the notification icon to stay updated for more interesting global insights.